As a student, I learned a few things. First, I learned that education and knowledge is something that really fulfills my soul, so to speak. I remember thinking one day in 10th grade, hey, this world is a really complex thing, and while I'll never completely understand it, it's really fun to try. I get excited by learning new things, and in general, the classroom is one of the best ways to do that. This budding passion for learning extended to all the different subjects in school, as they were all filled with different pieces of this complex world I was completely unaware existed, and that was the joy of it. As a teacher, I want to be able to impart this wonder I have about the world onto my students. While it is still important to highlight the practical applications that knowledge can give you, I also want to show my students that learning is an enjoyment in and of itself. For example, right now I'm thinking that I want to be a math teacher, although I'm not wedded to that. I might want to be a history or English teacher too, and preferably at the high school level. Anyway, taking that idea and applying it to what it would be like as a math teacher, I would still want to motivate my students to be interested in math by giving them practical reasons for learning this, such as this information is what helped people build bridges, computers, etc., and it is worthwhile for that reason. That might inspire the students, but I also want to impart, this information helped them build bridges and computers, but also isn't it cool that these kind of equations and the way that numbers relate just exist in our world? Isn't just our world cool in general? Don't you want to keep learning more just for that reason? That may not work, but that did work for me, and I would at least want to try because I think that's really invaluable if you can get that passion. Next, another lesson I learned as a student was that teachers can be an invaluable resource for students. They aren't just a mechanical transmitter of information, but a human being that can give life to that information. The example I always point back to is my 10th grade math teacher, being really excited about math and not afraid to show it in front of us students. Up to that point, I knew I kind of liked math, but there was such a stigma about math among my peers that I was always confused about whether it was even possible to enjoy math. There are always the tropes of, I hate math, or I'm so bad at it, that float around the school cafeteria that I thought maybe I was kidding myself about actually liking it. But my math teacher embodied that kind of wonder for the world that I was talking about. He clearly liked doing math, and his excitement rubbed off onto all of us. I want to be sure, as a teacher, that I can be like that for the next student like me, who is unsure if even liking math is a conspiracy, and to show them that it's okay. Not only is it okay, but embracing that can really help you grow, and it's just an overall pleasure to acknowledge that in general. I want to be like that from one of my future students, as many as I can, who are maybe on the fence like I was. One of my role models in life has been my family in general. Both my parents always valued bringing us to museums and exposing us to new information. These experiences at museums taught me the value of visual representation of information. I'm not sure I would have grasped the beginning of the universe if it weren't for the spectacular recreation of the Big Bang that I witnessed inside the Hayden Planetarium. Sitting under that dome and looking up in the universe in its primitive state of gas and particles made that information come alive to me. Before, it seemed kind of like an abstract concept that only people who are much smarter than me could not only understand but appreciate its glory. But looking up and seeing that and feeling what it was like, and the noise and the sound and the visuals, really made that information interesting to me in a way that was almost impossible before. When I teach, I want to be able to use technology like that to make the material seem more valuable to my students, more alive, and just more worth knowing. My ultimate goal is to become either a middle school or high school math teacher at this point. But like I said, I'm open to exploring other subject areas that I might want to teach. I kind of find a lot of different stuff interesting, and I think teaching it, different subjects could have their own benefits in terms of just what I would find to be more valuable to teach. For now, though, I'd like to teach around high school math, because that was around the time that I developed my passion for math. Maybe I was a little bit too early in middle school, to have had that kind of experience like I talked about with my high school math teacher, showing his passion for math, and then and me not really knowing whether I liked it. Maybe I was just at the right age where that kind of hit me. In the future, I would like to get a master's in education, not only increase my abilities as a teacher, because there's still a bunch to learn, obviously, but get a increase in pay. I hope to achieve this by maybe going to school part-time and working in the educational field to gain some experience. Right now I'm working as a tutor in SAT math, and that's kind of what maybe was the most recent example. Maybe I do want to actually try teaching. Before it was kind of, it seems like a fun idea, but I don't know what it would actually be like. But now that I'm actually teaching these kids, I think I do really like it. And yeah, that's it.